What's up, everybody? It's your boy TGK, and welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is going to be about the 2021-2022 NBA season for the Dallas Mavericks. So, without wasting more dime of your time, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I have no clue what the hell dime of your time meant, but it just fit at that moment. So let's go ahead and talk about the Mavericks real quick. First things first, we know we have Luka Doncic coming back, which is going to be an MVP candidate. That's nothing to really predict or preview. We kind of know that, and we expect that he's going to be in that contention. Another thing is we know we have Tim Hardaway Jr., which he's been really solid for us, and we expect him to continue in that basically that trend of being a really solid three-point shooter, and hopefully he could improve and be more of, on the ball, create your own shot type of player. He did it against that one game against the Pistons. I hope he can continue doing that throughout this year. Another thing, we're looking forward to Jalen Brunson being more of a facilitator. I really would like to see him become more of a guy that gets his teammates in better looks, gets his teammates better opportunities. I know it seems like he's a score first type of point guard, but I think he has basically that drive and that ability to be able to facilitate better. So if we could get that out of him, that'd be good. Now, we know what we got with that team. We know what we got with Dwight Powell. We know what we got with Kleber and Dorian Finney-Smith. If he improves even more, that'd be great. Kleber looks a lot better this year, especially in the preseason. So we know what we got with those guys. I don't think Brown and Bullock are going to be like this game-changing players for the team, but I do think that they're going to be reliable in the sense that they're veterans. They know what they're doing. They can shoot, and I think they could continue that for the Dallas Mavericks, and I think it's going to help Luka having that there. So I'm not necessarily mad at the signings. I do think that they're basically an improvement for this team. But the one player I do want to see improve is our rookie from last year, Green. I want to see him become more a part of this team and more a part of the offense and more a part of the defense and just more a part of getting some minutes on that basketball court. So now let me get to the X factors. The biggest X factors of this team are two people that I have in mind. One of them is Kristaps Porzingis, and the other is Jason Kidd. All right, so let's start with Porzingis. During the preseason, KP is looking like $1 million. He's looking really good. Now, I remember about like a month and a half ago, everybody was like, yo, this dude's going to be ass. We need to get rid of him. And then a couple of preseason games, now we got pundits and the media heads out there talking about that he could be a potential all-star. Or they're even just posing the question. Now, I always believed in KP and I still think he has an opportunity. I think Rick Carlisle really held him back a lot of the times last year. And I think he does have an opportunity to be at an all-star level, not necessarily at an all-star yet. We have to see him be productive and stay involved and not miss any games. If he could not miss any games, be productive and do his thing, the Mavericks have a really, really good opportunity. And that changes the overall perception of the Mavericks. Because right now, it feels like it's just Luka and a bunch of, supporting role players. But if it's Luka and KP and Tim Hardaway Jr. and that supporting cast, people look at the Mavericks a lot different. So KP is just that big of an X factor, and if he comes through this year, who knows? The sky's the limit. Now, the next X factor is Jason Kidd. Now, from what I've seen in the preseason, in the one game against the Hornets, and I think also the game before that, I saw a lot of also against the Clippers. I saw a lot of post play, but what I was seeing is a lot of post play, and then if they doubled, you kick it, they'd find the mismatches. And then you also saw a little bit of the offense that they ran last year, where it's just kind of Luka doing his own thing. But I do like the involvement of where Luka is posting up, Jalen Brunson is posting up, Kristaps Porzingis is posting up. I think with that constant feel of an attack that Jason Kidd seems like he's going to have, that kind of offense, the constant fear of an attack. Not just attacking, but the fear of an attack that you could have Kristaps on a 6'4" guy, or whatever the case may be. The fact that you could pass it out to anybody in Kleber, Finney, Hardaway, Bullock, Luka, Jalen, all these people that can hit threes, it gives so much pressure on other teams' defenses. And I think if they are able to find a way to continue that, where they're throwing it in the paint, passing it back out, throw it back in the paint, just keep the defense constantly have to look for the ball instead of they're just all focusing on Luka, it's going to make the team that much more better. And I think with KP, he's going to feel more involved. And like you saw in the Hornets game, he was everywhere. He was getting blocks, getting deflections. He was running the court, running the floor, and doing his thing, and he was ready to score, man. Like, this guy sky's the limit for KP, but I think with Kid, I do think he's an X factor, and if he could find a way to unlock KP's potential, and if he could find a way for Luka to unlock the entire team's potential with being more of even more of an improved facilitator, or even just 5% better, you just never know. So, Kid, Kristaps, that's our season. Those are X factors. If they come through and they give us something that is just a 10%, 15% improvement together as a duo for this team from last year, you just don't know, man. I'm telling you. And that's really how I look at this season. It's going to come down to those two guys. And just from looking at the preseason, I know you can't take too much from the preseason, but just to see a little glimpses of that constant pressure of an attack from an offense perspective, and their defense. It looks like they're being very. Kid has been talking nonstop about defensive assignments and defensive standards and how they want to maintain a defensive presence. And I think if you get any improvement from the defensive side, that's just another positive sign for the Mavericks. Now, in the second half of the season, the Mavericks were a top 3 team in the West. And mind you, this is when everybody was on firing on all cylinders, and the Mavericks were not playing with a all bought in Kristaps Porzingis, and they were top 3 when it comes to a record perspective. Now, my predictions for this team going into this upcoming season, I feel like they're a little high. Last year we finished with the 5th seed, and I think this year we have a chance to finish with a top 3 seed. With that being said, it's because the team's chemistry is a lot better. Luka has talked about becoming more of a leader for the team and improving the chemistry for the team. So when you have better chemistry with players, you just perform a lot better. And also, if you get that Kristaps Porzingis that we've been waiting for from the bubble or even from New York, and if you get Kid to be able to come in here and give them that new sense of coaching, that a better attack and a better approach and a better defensive mindset for the players. I mean, I saw some videos where he's just talking about, like, he wants to be very considerate of how the players feel during practices and all this stuff. And of course, his past, right? But I think he has a really good pulse on the team, and I really do believe in Kid as well. Now, my prediction is really that the Mavericks are going to finish in the top 3 in the West. Yes, you could talk about all these other teams, the Lakers, the Warriors, the Clippers, the Suns, the Jazz, and the Nuggets. So there's a bunch of teams out there. I just do think that if you have that one player that could do so many things and make it so difficult for you, and beating Luka, and then you could get another player in Kristaps Porzingis, a unicorn that gives you a whole nother side of issues. And then your supporting cast could just knock down shots. And then you have defensive plugs, basically, that can hold it down in certain instances. I just don't see how this team can't finish top 3, especially when they showed it in the second half of the previous season. So as long as they come out the gate healthy, not affected by COVID, they come out firing on all cylinders. Luka looks in a lot better shape going into this season than last season. I do think the Mavericks have an opportunity to finish in the top 3. Now, when it comes to the playoffs, the Mavericks need to, and they have to, and they got to get out of the first round. I think if they could get out of the first round, either would be in the first 3 seeds, they have a good chance. They'll be playing the 6th seed if they're the 3rd, or the 7th or the 8th if they're the 2nd or 1st. And then it's going to come down to the semifinals and the Western Conference Finals. But I think at this point, if Luka has it in him, he could get us to a Western Conference Finals. And you just don't know, man. You don't know. The thing is, I do think the Lakers in the playoffs are going to be a problem because that's when they'll be playing. Because I think they're going to try to coast throughout the whole year. Not all those guys are all like 30, 34, 33 and up. They're not going to be playing like that all year. The Mavericks are young as hell. So, and I'm just trying to think of the other teams that could probably derail the Mavericks. I mean, I don't want to say the Clippers. I don't want to say the Clippers. I honestly think it's either the Lakers, the Suns could give us a run. I really like the matchup against the Nuggets. And I think the Jazz will be a hard team to deal with. So, all right, Jazz, Nuggets, Suns, because of Chris Paul, and the Lakers. Those are the 4 teams that I fear as far as matchups for the Mavericks. But I think going into this year with Luka now being a straight up vet at this point, beyond a vet, and hopefully Kristaps is a healthy Kristaps, and Kid is a mastermind, I think the Mavs have a chance to make it to the Western Conference Finals. That's my prediction. Top 3 seed, Western Conference Finals. Kristaps, all-star level. Kid, good coach. Luka, MVP. That is my prediction for the Dallas Mavericks. Hopefully all the other players and the contributing players and the support players, they do the thing. And I do think the Mavericks have a ton of upside going into this upcoming season. And I just can't wait for this Thursday to come up so we can watch the Mavericks against the Atlanta Hawks. Anyway, guys, it's been your boy TGK. Sound off in the comments, man. All I want to do is communicate with y'all, so communicate with your boy. Anyway, it's your boy TGK. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.